Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and this is Top 5s, the only weekly Top 5 show in snowboarding that you somehow Google searched, what should I know about snowboarding since I'm coming back to it, and you ended up here. That's right, welcome back. You're getting back into snowboarding. This list is for you. We want you to just understand what's going on. Since you took a hiatus after you graduated high school or college or whatever and went off to get your 2.5 kids, your dog and your minivan, or, life got in the way. Either way, brace for it. It's going to be a little bit of an honest list, but we're going to break it down for you. Number 5. No, it wasn't better back then when you were in your prime and snowboarding all the time. It was just a point in your life that you were so engrossed in it, and it has special meaning to you that when you look back, you think that it was better. It wasn't better. It was different. It was a part of your life that was a defining portion of it. Something that you can look back on fondly and go, those were some of the best days that I had to that point in your life, should be the stipulation. It's not that it was better back then. It's not that brands were better, that the culture was better. It was different, and you were part of it then. You left. Now you feel like an outsider. Look around. If you want to get back in, it's time to start deep diving the culture of snowboarding. Number 4. Some people aren't going to know who your idols were when you were really engrossed in snowboarding. They're not going to know who you looked up to. They're not going to remember them. This is just something that happens in snowboarding. Some people fall by the wayside. They don't have that staying power. It sucks. I looked up to a guy named Chris Perks. First person I ever see do a corked backside 180. To this day, it is ingrained in my brain as something I saw. Most people don't know who he is. Runs the terrain park at Hollymont. Great dude. Great dude. But in the history of snowboarding, outside of where he's from, most people aren't going to know who he was, and a lot of people only know him as the terrain park guy. They don't know him as one of the best riders from the area that you grew up in. Or at least for me, they don't. This is just something that's going to happen. Like, if you weren't looking up to someone that had staying power, most people today, especially the younger generation, aren't going to remember that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your job coming back is to go, hey, did you know about this guy? Have that conversation with people and then learn who they look up to. That way, you're learning about snowboarding. Kind of a two-way street there. Number 3, how people consume their media and where they get their information for snowboarding has changed. Obviously, if you're watching this video on YouTube, because that's where it is right now, unless I cut it into a short and put it somewhere else, this isn't where you got your information from. Maybe you got it from magazines. Maybe you remember the start of the snowboard internet and when there was websites like snowboard.com and whatnot. But it's changed, and how people interact and where they get all that information from has changed. One of the things that I constantly see from you guys is, well, why should we trust you? You're just a random guy on the internet. I've been doing this for 20 friggin' years. If you don't know who I am in those 20 years, you were really out of snowboarding. Like, TC and I have been doing reviews here for a while, and TC's been doing it less than I have. We're number 1 in the world for snowboard reviews. We do more than anyone else, any other publication out there. We are the source. And you want to come in and argue with me about it because you worked in a shop back in 2003, 2004 or something, and you've been gone? And now you're back into it and you think I'm a random guy? You're the random guy. You need to realize that. There are new sources. Yeah, Transworld's gone. Snowboard Mag, kind of a joke. Snowboarder Mag, I don't know why they've got a guy living in Virginia doing all their articles, but okay. You have Slush, White Lines, let's give or take. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, these are all places where people are getting their information, and not all of it's the same. And I understand that you might be adverse to something being different to you, but this is where it is. You need to realize that people can ask about a snowboard and get a comment or a response or an answer or whatever in milliseconds from it being posted, instead of having to wait for the buyer's guide to come out, having to go to the shop. These are all things. It's changed. You can watch stacked clips on your phone while you're on the gondola. Like, this is the reality of the world we live in. You're not waiting for those fall movie premieres anymore and figuring out which one of the 5 movies coming out you're gonna buy on VHS or DVD. It's changed. Guess what? It's kind of for the better. You can watch more snowboard content, you can engage with more snowboarders. It's a good thing. Find where you trust and go to it. Number 2, brand X, Y, or Z is not the gold standard anymore. Brands change. Quality changes. The people that run the brands move to different brands, start their own brands. Things have changed since the last time you were here. And one of the things that I constantly see is, Burton is the standard. It was the best when I was a kid. No, dude, they're not the best. They're not the top of the food chain anymore. Like, holy shit, we have some of the best brands in snowboarding out there right now. We have the best materials, some of the best quality, some of the best designers out there working on it. It is so much better than where it was when you left. A lot of people do not realize this. You need to just stick your hands up your ass, grab your head, pull it back out, wipe the shit from your eyes, and look around. There are a lot of great brands. In fact, we're kind of hit a point where it's really hard to make a bad snowboard product. It's more or less you just bought something that wasn't made for your style of riding and what you needed. Like, quality is better. Production methods are better. Like, everything is just better. And if you're looking around and going, well, where's this brand, or this brand, and they went out of business, they failed. They went out. Sometimes they come back and they're not the same. This is where we're at. The reality is there's a lot of great product out there. And there's a lot of great companies, and companies that were at the forefront 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago are not there anymore. Other companies have surpassed them. Like, if you would have told me that the best boots, in my opinion, in the world are Ride and K2, I would have been like, you're full of shit, arguing with 18-year-old me. Here we are, 20-something years later, and I'm like, these are seriously some of the best boots out there. That's kind of where it's at. You need to look around and go, maybe what worked isn't working, and what's out there now is better. Honorable mentions, all great options, but just barely didn't crack the top 5 of this list. There's been a whole cultural revolution since you left. Trends have changed, riders have changed, companies have changed ownership. Immerse yourself in it. Don't just come into it with some ignorant idea of what things will still be the same. Sure, some stuff has stayed the same, but a lot of it has changed. Season passes are actually a more affordable option if you break it down by how many days, how many hours you're going to go ride in the long run of it. Yes, it has kind of bastardized the experience for some people, especially with Epic and Icon out there, but even at smaller resorts, if you're going more than 5 to 10 times, a season pass makes more sense than buying a walk-up lift ticket. Finally, we need to talk about this one because it's kind of important. Yes, the best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs, but $250 for a snowboard boot is not an expensive boot anymore. That's actually kind of on par for entry to low mid-level, and you're just gonna have to deal with that. Prices have increased a lot. Anyways, like I said, these were all great options, but just barely didn't crack the top 5 of my list. And the number one thing you should know when you're getting back into snowboarding after being gone for a while is it's changed a lot. You need to kind of brace yourself for it. You might have a little bit of a culture shock. You might have sticker shock. You might just struggle with the fact that some things that were proper back in the day when you were a teenager aren't. Looking at you, all you people that zeech, those are done. Let's get it proper. Turn that board full 90 on that. In there. Tindy was never okay. This is kind of how it goes, you know? Things change. Life changes. Everyone moves on. Things are gonna progress. You've been gone a while. If you're pissed off about it, you want that nostalgic feeling, I'm sure there's a Facebook group with a whole bunch of you jaded old people that can get together and bitch about it. But realistically, embrace the fact that we are truthfully in a golden age of snowboarding. We have some of the best equipment. You have the best ability to get the best advice about what snowboards to purchase or how to ride and whatnot. You literally have more tools than you ever had when you look back when you had to quit riding because life got in the way. Don't be pissed about it. Embrace it, use it, become part of the snowboard culture again in the community. Don't be a person that snowboards, be a snowboarder. That's what I say. All right, so hopefully you didn't get too offended with this list now that you've returned back to snowboarding and found this channel and started leaving really weird comments, and some of you people think are beyond hope, but for those of you that are just looking for hope, hopefully I gave it to you. That's a lot of hope right there. If not, you don't like this channel, I'm sure there's some crappy influencer that you can go watch them make the same vlog over and over again and feel like, by gammit, dang nabbit, I like it, you know? Sure, it's there. The good thing is there's something for everyone out there. Whether I like it or not is way different whether you like it or not. And if you don't like this video, go watch one of our other ones. I'm sure there's something out there that'll either offend you or inspire you. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better.